everyone, welcome back. January pickups video. Going to be a lighter one than the December pickups video. Try to lay low this month and kind of rebuild a little bit after that gluttony that I did last month. But you know, sitting here looking at it, I still picked up some quality stuff. Most of it you've already seen in a previous video if you watch my channel. If not, there's a mystery unboxing. It might be more fun if you pause this video, go to my channel, open up that mystery unboxing video and watch that so it's new and fresh. But if you don't care about that, then just stay tuned and you'll see what I eventually got. But yeah, there's one big thing that's missing from this video. It doesn't come out for a few more days, but it's going to get its own video. I don't think I need to say what it is. I think everybody who watches my channel probably knows what's coming out here soon that, you know, I'm going to be picking up. But it's going to get its own video. I'm okay with leaving it out of here. Maybe I'll make a mention of it or not. I don't know. But let's go ahead and start things off with a system that is kind of newly retro. I still can't think of it as a retro system, but it technically is starting to become one. And that is the Nintendo DS, and we're going to go with finally picking up Metal Slug 7. I'm a huge SNK fan. I love Metal Slug. This was one of the big games of my youth when we'd go to the bowling alley arcade and they had an MVS 4 slot there, and one of the games they always had in it was Metal Slug, and I wasted so many quarters. I probably could have bought the AES game outright with how many quarters I put into that game. But definitely looking forward to getting into this. I have Metal Slug Anthology for my Wii, and if you guys haven't picked up, or do I have it for the Wii or do I have it for the PS2? I have it for the PS2, I'm sorry. But it's also on the Wii. If you haven't picked up the Metal Slug Anthology, go out and pick it up, because the Metal Slug games and SNK games in general are just a wonderful blast from the past. And actually, these games are a lot of fun because the animation is so good that you know, you just don't see sprite-based animation like that anymore. It's just, there's so much like life to the characters. It's just so detailed and so good. SNK was really good at pumping out some high-quality graphics, which I will talk about at the end of the video as well. So Metal Slug 7, looking forward to giving that a shot. As we all know, here in February, there's going to be a sort of another big DS RPG, strategy RPG coming out. And this is a series that I recently got into. I have a lot of games in the series, I just never played them. But here recently I finally played through one of the games and I enjoyed it, even though the video kind of made it sound like I was bashing it. I actually really did enjoy the game. And the series is Shin Megami Tensei. And the game is Devil's... oh, these Shin Megami Tensei titles. Devil Survivor. Okay, so I had a dilemma here, because there's two versions of Devil Survivor out. Do I pick up the original DS version, or do I pick up the new 3DS version, even though it doesn't have any 3D and it's, you know, it's got some aesthetic differences? And I was looking into it, and the time I purchased this, there was a slight price difference, maybe like $6 between the two of them. So I decided to go ahead and go with Overclocked for the 3DS. It has an extra scenario, the graphics are revamped a little bit, it has full voice acting. So, you know, it's the same game that's on the DS, it's just enhanced. And as for not having the 3D, that's okay, because, you know, playing Cave Story for long periods of time, eventually my eyes felt like they were going to fall out of my head. My eyes are, you know, most people seem to have this problem with the 3DS, and a lot of people can't even see the 3D. I can see the 3D fine, it's just long periods of playtime, my eyes, you know, cross, and I feel like I'm getting sucked into a vortex or something. But I still really like the 3DS. Cave Story made me a believer in it, and hopefully this game will be really good. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. I've heard that it's ridiculously hard, as Shin Megami Tensei games seem to be, because my first game was Digital Devil Saga, and I of course did a game discussion on that, and you know, I vented my frustration with the game a little bit, and it did sound like I was kind of bashing it when I played back the video and listened to it, but I really did enjoy it. It's just, you know, Shin Megami Tensei games are hard games, so, but anyway, you know, I'm looking forward to this. I like strategy RPGs, and I'm hoping, you know, looking into the gameplay of this, it seems like quite an interesting take on the strategy RPG format. So, looking forward to getting to that sometime here soon. And then if I really do like it, I'll of course pick up Devil Survivor 2 on the DS. So, yeah, let's stay in the handheld arena here for a minute. Well, kind of in the handheld arena. I picked up 2 download games, and of course I can't show you anything, but I finally picked up Bastion for the 360, and this is another game that for a long time I've heard nothing but praise about, and I've played a little bit of it just to kind of check it out because I didn't want to dive right into it because I was finishing up another game, and I really have to say I really do enjoy it. It's one of the few games that make me laugh out loud with that the narration. It really adds a lot to that game. And the gameplay is good. The graphics are wonderful and colorful and just fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to getting back to that and really seeing what that game has to offer. And then another title I picked up was on the PSP, and I finally picked up Corpse Party by Xseed on the PSN shop. And I picked it up because I heard a lot of great things about it. I heard it's really actually quite scary, even though it's basically looks like a 16-bit RPG. But I picked it up again for another reason, which was to support Xseed. I really do love the company Xseed. I think they're a fantastic company. I try to support them any way I can, and you know, the more money, hopefully the more money I give them, the more money they have to put towards bringing out Trails in the Sky second chapter, because if that game doesn't come out, I'm going to occupy Xseed. Yeah. We have Occupy Wall Street, we have Occupy London, Occupy Xseed. Let's get Trails in the Sky over here. But anyway, all bad jokes aside, really looking forward to getting the Corpse Party, seeing what makes that game tick, and seeing, you know, how people are, what people are so terrified of in that game. So it'll be interesting. I feel like my voice is going. Another pickup I got here, found this for pretty cheap. I think it was like $14, I want to say. And that is Vanquish for the 360. I hear this is just a wild and crazy action game, way over the top, you know, just super fast. Really looking forward to getting into this. I like to have, you know, I don't go for every action game that comes out, but you know, when something is quirky and weird and it grabs my attention, then I have to get it. So this, I finally, you know, got around to picking this up. Really looking forward to playing this. The graphics just look crazy. I've watched gameplay videos. It just looks like the wildest thing, one of the wildest things out there. I really can't wait to get into it, but it might be a while before I get into it. I'm not sure when I'll get around to it. Another, and this is kind of a big omission in my gaming collection, but in, you know, my defense, I only picked up my PS3 last year. I finally got around to getting a PS3, and what I picked up this month is something that I wanted since I picked up the PS3. I just never got around to getting them, and that is the Uncharted 2-pack, or the dual pack, I guess. And in this, for $40, you get both copies of the game in these horrific looking red cases, but I'm getting too old to care about whether it's greatest hits or normal hits. I don't care. You know, big deal. The weird thing about it, though, is, and I noticed this when I took out, because I recently finished Uncharted, and in fact, the next video you see will be a game discussion video on Uncharted. But the weirdest thing about these cases is that they're opaque. Okay, you can't see through them. And the label is a greatest hits label. So it's not the label from the original game, but on the back you still have the picture like it was supposed to be in a clear case. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know why. I mean, it's cool that Sony kept that in there for us, but at the same time I don't know why it's there, because you can't see it. But I'm not going to talk too much about Uncharted because I got a game discussion video coming up here on it. I really enjoyed it. We'll go with that. And I'll gush about it in the next video. And I'm really looking forward to Uncharted 2 because I hear, as much as I enjoyed this, I hear that this really improves everything about the first game. So, really looking forward to that. And then really looking forward to getting Uncharted 3 and playing that because I really enjoyed that game. Very rarely do you get a game that makes you feel like you're in an Indiana Jones movie. Not even the Indiana Jones games can do that. That's the only game I've ever played that I felt like I was actually in an Indiana Jones movie. So, if you like Indiana Jones, go get the Uncharted games. They're fantastic. The last well, I don't want to say that. We'll just keep going here. The next pickup. Now, this was a game that I owned as a teenager. When I got my Wii, I traded in a bunch of GameCube stuff, and this was a game that I owned and I really enjoyed, but I stopped playing it, and then I just kind of fell out of love with it, and of course traded it in. And as soon as you guys see this, a lot of you guys are going to be like, how dare he trade that in? And, well, I agree with you. I bought it back. So that's sort of my logic to you guys to pass my wisdom to pass on to you is never trade in your games because eventually you're going to want them back. Unless you really, really can part with them. And there's a few games I think I could really part with, like Grand Theft Auto 4. I don't really need it anymore. But anyway, the next game I picked up is Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem. This is an amazing game. I don't know how well it's going to work with the Wii because this game messes. Most survival horror games scare you, make you jump, that kind of stuff. This one actually physically messes with you. I don't know if I want to tell you all the stuff it does to you. If you really want to know, if you really want to spoil yourself, go out and kind of look at some. I'm sure there's videos out there on YouTube of what happens in this game, but it actually physically messes with you in the real world. And I don't know if it'll work on the Wii. I don't know if it'll do the same stuff it's supposed to do on the Wii as it did on the GameCube. I'm assuming it will, but if not, then I'm definitely going to have to go back and buy another GameCube to relive this game. I'm thinking about buying a GameCube back anyway because I want to get a Game Boy Advance player, but if this doesn't work on the Wii, then there's just another reason to get a GameCube again. So, fantastic game. If you guys love horror games, definitely go check this out. It's it's amazing that this is an M-rated game from Nintendo. I mean, how often do you see that? So right there, that tells you that it's a pretty special thing. And then the last part of my pickups video here, I've already showed this off. A lot of you guys have already seen this. I did finally, I love this thing so much. I can't wait to talk about it. I finally picked up a Geo Pocket Color. I love SNK, like I said with the Metal Slug DS game I got earlier. I love SNK. They're a very nostalgic company for me. And I remember seeing this thing back in the day and just thinking, oh my god, that thing blows the Game Boy out of the water. This thing is going to just dominate. And then, as you started to see the games trickle out for it, I started to be like, well, maybe it's not going to dominate. And then, of course, it died. But I have a soft spot in my heart for these sort of underdog dead systems. And let me just tell you guys, I have been having so much fun with this. If you have any interest in SNK, fighting games, just weird handhelds, look into getting one of these because, I was expecting like a Game Boy type experience, but the graphics on this thing and like the response of the controls are just so silky smooth and just perfect. I mean, I've never played Street Fighter 2 on the Game Boy, and for the most part, I think fighting games on handhelds are awful. The only fighting game I think I own on the handhelds other than this system is Mortal Kombat for the Game Gear, and that is an atrocious game. Atrocious. But this, you know, this actually beats some of the console fighting games I've played. Like, it's that fantastic. This little joystick thing, which I love that clicking noise it makes. This thing, I don't know why this isn't on like every controller for a fighting game. I'm not a big fan of arcade sticks, but I love this. And it's so easy to pull off, you know, I would say Hadoukens, but we're talking about SNK games here, so I can't really say that. Copyright infringement, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, this is a fantastic little system. I highly recommend anybody who's thinking about picking one of these up, just go ahead and do it, because I was kind of, you know, I ordered it, and when it got shipped out, I was kind of like, oh, now I'm kind of stuck with it, you know. But then it got here, I opened it up, of course, in front of you guys, and then I went and played it, and let me tell you, I do not regret this purchase at all. So let me show you the games I got for it, and I'll talk a little bit about them. I've been playing these a little bit. The only one I haven't really played that much of is well, I'll go ahead and just talk about that one first. The Last Blade. I haven't really played this one that much. It's a fighting game, but the mechanics are a bit different than the other two fighting games I have for the system, because they're kind of very similar. So this one is going to take me a while to kind of figure and suss out. So I'm going to take my time with this one. But what I did play of it, the graphics are amazing. I mean, the animation is just silky smooth. I can't believe that this thing. I just can't believe that this little system is pumping out like this type of animation on this little thing. It's just amazing. I'm rambling, but God, I love it. Sonic Pocket Adventure, the first Sonic game on a competitor console. Not really a competitor, because of course Sega only made the Game Gear and the Nomad, and then they got out of the portable business. But this was a big deal back in the day. You know, a Sonic game on a non-Sega system. Craziness. I really enjoy this game. I think it's a fantastic game. I'm going to say this though: if you own like any of the Game Boy Advance or the DS Sonics, this is non-essential. I mean, if you own any of the Genesis Sonics and you don't care about having a portable Sonic, non-essential. But if you're getting you know, a Neo Geo Pocket Color and you want to play some Sonic, this is a fantastic Sonic game. The controls are spot on. The graphics are really, really good. I mean, this system is just surprising the hell out of me. But yeah, Sonic's Pocket Adventure, fantastic. And we'll go with this one. Metal Slug First Mission. Like I said earlier, Metal Slug, love this game. Animation's crazy. The gameplay is fast and quick. I mean, it's just one of the perfect arcade games out there. And this is a perfect distillation of that game. The only thing you're really losing with this game is the amount of characters on the screen at one time and like the graphic detail. Other than that, this game plays exactly like every other Metal Slug game out there. It's that good. Like, I put this in and just lost myself in it, and I couldn't believe that I was playing this on a 12-year-old console, you know, a 12-year-old handheld console. This on the Game Boy would probably be a choppy mess and missing so many frames of animation, but on this I keep wanting to say Game Boy Color, on this Neo Geo Pocket Color, like, the gameplay is just fantastically quick. It's just amazing. I can't say enough about this system. I'm so glad I bought it. And then the last two, I'm going to talk about them together because they're kind of similar in a way, and that is King of Fighters R2 and Gals Fighters, SNK Gals Fighters. The reason why I say they're kind of similar is I can pick up King of Fighters and play it for a little while, and then I can pick up Gals Fighters and instantly fall into it and not have to think about different game mechanics. I mean, they're different games, and there is a little bit of a different stuff to them, but they're similar enough that there is carryover of skills between the two games. This game right here might be my favorite fighting game I've bought for the system. It's not my favorite game. Metal Slug's my favorite game for the system right now, but this is a close second. This thing is just amazing. I have not had this much fun with a fighting game since Street Fighter II Turbo, and that was a long time ago. So I'm really, really jonesing to buy more games for the system. Gals Fighters is pretty interesting too. It's a bunch of It's a fighting game with nothing but female characters, of course, all SNK characters, and it plays a lot like your standard. It plays a lot like King of Fighters. So I can carry those skills over to this, and same thing. The graphics are amazing. For this handheld, of course, I'm saying graphics are amazing. You guys are gonna go watch gameplay videos and be like, "Oh man, that sucks." But for this system, the graphics are big, cartoony, full of animation. I think, yeah, this was a Neo Geo Pocket Color because it has the color bars behind it, right? Yeah. So, it really looks good. Like, we got the Game Boy Color out, and this thing still blows it away. I think this came out before the Game Boy... No. The Neo Geo Pocket came out, then the Game Boy Color came out, and then the Neo Geo Pocket Color came out. So that's why it's a little bit better, because it came out afterwards. But, gosh, just looking at this, and thinking that this was a competitor to the Game Boy, I don't understand why this didn't blow it away. It's probably because of, the installation base. Everyone knew what a Game Boy was, and this was a new system. No one wants to try it out, but I'm telling you guys, I keep getting fingerprints on the screen. And if you watched my unboxing of it, it's real. I'm not liking that. I don't like getting my fingerprints on my screen. But I'm telling you guys, if you are even thinking, if it's just halfway crossing your mind to purchase one of these, just do it, because you're going to have a lot of fun with this system. It's pretty fantastic. One thing I did want to talk about it, though, and this was a weird thing, because, and this is another thing I want to tell you guys about, too. Be careful when you go out to buy these games, because a lot of people online consider this to be new, because it's in this plastic case, okay? This is not new. It's not in its outer shell box. It doesn't have the manual with it. It's not new. But they list it as new for some weird reason. But anyway, as you see, my Sonic does not have a box because it didn't have the case. So, this game was a little dirty. And whenever I would load it in here, it would, shut the system down. I don't know if that's like a fail-safe thing in the system to let you know you need to clean the cartridges or not. But it would shut the system down, and it would wipe the memory, because this thing actually has a watch battery in it to have like an internal clock and things like that. It would flash that, and I'd have to reset the time and all that crap. So when you get one of these, make sure you clean these games before you put it in the system, because I don't know if that's a widespread thing or if it's just a instance with this game, because this game also has it also kind of records your progress a little bit in it. It records when you beat stages, and then you can just go straight to that stage. So I don't know if it has a battery in it or if it's just like a little flash memory in there, but it was interfering with the memory of the system. So that's something to look out for. I was thinking maybe the contacts are just dirty. Maybe I should just clean it. So I got a Q-tip out and got some Windex and cleaned the contacts. Put it in there, haven't had a problem since, but that was a problem initially, and I was like, oh crap, this thing is, junking out on me already. But fantastic construction. So, that is my January pickups video. I don't know how long I just spent there. Hopefully it's not as long as the last one, because I didn't have as much to talk about, and it's kind of late, so I might be a little tired, so if I don't have the usual energy, it was a long day at work, but I wanted to make this because I want to get to the Uncharted game discussion, and I didn't want to talk about Uncharted before I showed it in my pickups video. So that's why I did it now, and I'm tired. I might watch it. I might not even post it tonight. I might just watch it back and see if I'm actually lively enough to put it on there. But January pickups done. February. I'm trying to think of all the stuff that's coming out in February that I have pre-ordered. I think I have 2 things pre-ordered, and then of course I don't have Devil Survivor 2 pre-ordered, but I'm thinking about picking it up anyway. But I don't know if February will be a big pickups month either. I'm not picking up a Vita. I'm gonna wait a bit on that. Wait till some of the games that I'm really interested in. Although now, after beating Uncharted 1, I'm actually really interested in that Uncharted game for the Vita. So we'll see how the Vita does. I don't know. seems like gaming, as I know it and as I like it, is really on the way out, and there's some kind of new thing. These iPhones and iPads and downloading games and blah blah blah. I don't know. This might be the last console generation that I really get into, because they've done a big. They're starting the rumor mill about the Xbox 720 now, which I don't even think is going to be the real name of it, but that's what they're bandying around. But there's a rumor that this new Xbox system will be able to detect when you buy a used game, and then it won't play it. So I don't know, like, if when you buy a new game, you'd have to input a code, and it would somehow detect that through the internet that that code has already been put in, you know, like you do with PC games. But if Microsoft does that, they're done, because people are not going to buy that system, and Sony's going to be like, well, we're not going to do that. Everyone come to PS4, and everyone will go to PS4. So Microsoft, if anyone from Microsoft's watching and you think, hey, that's a good idea, that's going to stop people from buying used games, you're idiots, and that's going to ruin your console, and no one's going to buy Xbox 720. You will kill yourself the next generation. So take that out right now. I know you guys are worried about your game sales, but you know, maybe if you didn't make yearly updates to series of games and instead created new things and new titles, and go back to how maybe like the Super Nintendo and the N64 eras were, where every game was a new experience, you know, maybe people would buy them. Because I know when I see like new games come out, like Batman Arkham City, I'm like, that game's going to sell a lot of copies. I don't need to put my money behind that. I can wait for it to get cheap or used. So, you know, that kind of goes hand in hand with these AAA titles, is that everyone buys them, and you know that there's going to be a big turnaround with those, because those types of games are easily digested by everyone. Those mainstream games. It's really the RPGs and the more niche titles that people hold on to. So that's my rant about this supposed idea that the Xbox 720 will be blocking used games. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. I'm really hoping that the people at Microsoft are not that stupid, but you can't give people that much credit. I mean, they'll do it, and they'll be like, oh, this is going to save us so much money, and then no one buys the console, and they're done. So that's my rant. Tagged it on the end there. I was going to do a whole video talking about that, but I just decided to tag it on there just a second ago. So January pickups done, in the box, ship it out. Uncharted game discussion coming up next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.